Have you ever noticed that the moment you decide to get serious about your life, the moment you start praying more, working on your goals, and taking steps toward your purpose, everything around you suddenly seems to fall apart? Old problems reactivate, relationships get tense, and instead of feeling blessed and peaceful, you feel completely overwhelmed. Most people look at this chaos and think, God must have forgotten about me, or worse, I must be doing something wrong. What if the very season you are calling your hardest battle is actually the ultimate proof that your breakthrough is closer than it's ever been? Think about a miner digging for diamonds who stops just one swing away from hitting the treasure. He turns back because he's tired, discouraged, and sees no visible results, completely unaware that his miracle was right behind the next wall. Most people quit 3 days before their miracle simply because they don't recognize the signals. Before God elevates you into the greatest season of your life, He rarely uses loud, obvious displays. Instead, He sends quiet, strategic signals. These are signs that most people overlook or even misinterpret as defeat. If you know what to look for, these signals act as a roadmap, keeping you grounded when everything around you tells you to give up. Here are 7 signs God always shows right before a major breakthrough. Number 1. The attacks suddenly intensify for no reason. Notice something. When you were standing still, life was quiet. The moment you stepped toward growth, chaos erupted. Here's why. The enemy does not waste ammunition on a target that isn't moving. Thieves don't break into empty houses. The intensity of the resistance you're facing right now is directly connected to the size of the destination waiting for you on the other side. Think about the Israelites in Egypt. For 400 years they were slaves, and in a twisted way, life was stable. But the moment God announced He was setting them free, Pharaoh didn't ease up. He doubled their workload. Centuries later, when Jesus was born, King Herod tried to destroy him immediately, not after he performed a miracle, but at his birth, because the enemy recognized the threat before the world ever did. If the pressure in your life just got turned up, do not panic. Increased resistance isn't a sign that God left you. It's a sign that hell noticed your momentum. Number 2. You experience an unexplainable spiritual fatigue. This one confuses people more than almost any other sign on this list. You start doing the right things, reading, praying, showing up, and instead of feeling lighter, you feel drained, a weariness that sleep can't touch. The enemy will whisper, if you were really aligned with God, you wouldn't feel this exhausted. But Galatians 6:9 says something different. It tells us not to grow weary in doing good, because in due time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. Notice where the exhaustion shows up, not at mile 1 of the marathon, at mile 20, right when the finish line comes into view, not at the start of labor, right before the child is delivered. Spiritual growth is labor, being tired is a physical feeling, quitting is a mental decision, and resting isn't quitting. When Elijah collapsed under the broom tree in complete despair, God didn't lecture him. God fed him, let him sleep, and then revealed his next assignment. If you feel weary today, don't interpret it as failure. Interpret it as proximity. Number 3. Unscheduled separations begin to happen. This is the sign that hurts the most because it doesn't feel spiritual, it feels personal. A friend grows distant and you don't know why. A sibling stops calling. A co-worker who used to have your back suddenly doesn't. Someone in your own family, maybe even an in-law you've tried for years to build a relationship with, pulls away and you're left wondering what you did wrong. Here's the question worth asking. What if you did nothing wrong? What if the loneliness isn't a punishment, it's preparation? Every major shift in Scripture required a separation first. God told Abraham to leave his country and his relatives before he ever saw the promise. Joseph had to be separated from his own brothers before he could save nations. God often removes people not because they are evil, but because their assignment in your life is finished. Carrying old dynamics, old grudges, old dysfunction, old versions of relationships that never really served you, into a new season will only weigh you down. God separates you before He elevates you, to make space for the people who fit where you're going, not the ones who only fit where you used to be. Number 4. God seems silent, and old prayers feel unanswered. There is a specific kind of silence that shows up right before a breakthrough. You pray, and it feels like the words hit the ceiling and fall back down. Heaven feels quiet. And the enemy uses that silence to convince you God has stopped listening. Remember this: the teacher is always silent during the test. Silence is never absence. When Lazarus got sick, his sisters sent word to Jesus immediately. Scripture is clear that Jesus loved Mary, Martha, and Lazarus deeply, and yet he stayed exactly where he was for 2 more days while Lazarus died. To that family, the silence felt like abandonment. But Jesus wasn't being late. He was setting up a resurrection. A healing would have been a miracle. A resurrection revealed the full power of God. When God goes quiet, He isn't ignoring your request. He is upgrading it. Number 5. You start outgrowing your old life and identity. Do the things that used to entertain you suddenly feel empty? Do old conversations feel like noise? You might notice you no longer fit into circles you used to call home, and that can feel less like growth and more like grief. Jesus explained this directly. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. God cannot pour a new season into an old version of you. When a snake sheds its skin, it doesn't apologize to the old skin on its way out. It simply leaves it behind because it can no longer grow inside it. This discomfort you're feeling isn't depression, it's detachment. God is loosening your grip on the old so your hands are free to receive the new. You are not losing yourself. God is upgrading your capacity. Number 6. An unexplainable peace and small confirmations appear. The first few signs bring friction. This one brings clarity. Everything around you might still look chaotic on paper, and yet, out of nowhere, a calm settles over you that makes no logical sense. Philippians 4:7 calls this the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. It arrives before the problem is solved, not after. Alongside that peace come small confirmations, what a lot of people call God winks. A verse that appears at exactly the right moment. A quiet, persistent knowing that everything is going to be all right. Remember Elijah's servant standing on top of Mount Carmel after a 3.5-year drought. He looked out at the sea and saw one thing, a single, tiny cloud, no bigger than a man's hand. It wasn't a downpour. It wasn't even rain yet. But Elijah knew that cloud meant the drought was over. Don't dismiss the small signs. That sudden inner calm is heaven's receipt for a breakthrough that is already on its way. Number 7. You feel a strong conviction to take a step of faith. Right before the miracle shows up, God almost always asks for your obedience first. You'll feel a persistent nudge to forgive someone, to launch the project, to apply for the role, to leave the comfort zone you've been hiding in. Think about the Israelites standing at the edge of the Jordan River, overflowing its banks. God did not part that water while everyone stood safely on dry ground. The miracle happened the moment their feet touched the water. Faith is not a passive feeling, it's a decision put into motion. Moses had to lift his staff. David had to run toward Goliath. Peter had to step out of the boat. God provides the power. You provide the movement. What is the one step He's been prompting you to take? You might feel like you're living in your day 40, the middle of the wait, the trial, the storm that won't let up. But remember, the rain stopped for Noah on day 41. The Israelites entered the promised land in year 41. David defeated Goliath on day 41. Your day 41 is coming. Don't quit one prayer before the answer. Don't stop one step before the door opens. Which of these 7 signs are you experiencing right now? Tell me in the comments. Your story might be the exact encouragement someone else needs to keep going today. If this reached you, hit like, subscribe for more, and send it to the friend who needs to hear that their breakthrough is nearer than they think. Thank you for watching. Keep moving forward. If you're recognizing these signs in your life right now, take a breath and hold on.